Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new English learning lesson. In this video, we will practice English with an inspiring story about music and finding your own path. It is about a girl named Emily. One cold afternoon, a strict teacher tells her she has no talent. She says Emily will never be a musician. Emily is heartbroken, but she refuses to give up. Instead, she starts a secret life at night. This painful rejection changes her whole life forever. I'll narrate this story step by step. Just pause after each sentence and mimic my speech. It's a great way to sharpen your English comprehension and speaking. Take a moment to relax. Ready? Let's begin. My name is Emily Brown. I am 24 years old. I live in a quiet neighborhood with my father and my cat, Willow. I work in a coffee shop during the day, but my real life begins at night when I sit at my old keyboard. That's when I feel alive. It was a cold afternoon in October. I was 16 years old. I had just started high school. My mother had signed me up for piano lessons. She said, "Emily, music will make you happy." I didn't believe her, but I went anyway. The teacher's name was Miss Carter. She had gray hair and serious eyes. She gave me sheet music and said, "Play this." I looked at the paper. I didn't understand it. The notes looked like tiny bugs on white lines. I tried to play, but my fingers didn't know where to go. Miss Carter shook her head and said, "You will never be able to play. You have no talent. Stop wasting my time." I walked home in the rain. I felt angry and hurt, but something inside me woke up. I thought, she's wrong. I will prove her wrong. That night, I didn't sleep. I went online and searched for piano videos. I found something called MIDI videos. They showed me which keys to press. I started practicing. Every day after school, I ran home. I locked my door and sat at the keyboard. I practiced for 6 hours, sometimes more. In the beginning, it was painful. My fingers hurt. My back hurt. My eyes burned from looking at the screen. But I didn't stop. Winter turned into spring. While other teenagers were outside laughing or going to the cinema, I was inside, fighting with the keys. I learned simple songs, then harder ones. I struggled with my left hand. My left hand wanted to be lazy, but I forced it to work. I forced it to dance with the right hand. My father often knocked on my door. "Emily, are you okay?" he asked softly. "Yes, Dad, I'm fine," I said through the closed door. I didn't tell him about Miss Carter. I didn't tell anyone. This was my secret. My fight. I watched the same videos again and again, slowing them down to 50% speed, then 75%, then 100%. I made mistakes, thousands of mistakes. But slowly, my hand started to remember the patterns. The plastic keys became my friends. 2 weeks passed. One evening, I was playing a song I had learned, but then something strange happened. My fingers moved differently. They played notes that were not in the video. New notes. Notes I had never heard before. I stopped. I was confused. What just happened? I whispered. I tried again. The same thing happened. I was creating something new. I was composing music. I sat at the keyboard until 3 a.m. that night. I played and played. I recorded everything on my phone. The next morning, I listened to what I had created. It was rough. It was simple, but it was mine. I felt something I had never felt before. It was like finding a hidden room in my own heart. I no longer cared about Miss Carter. I no longer wanted to prove anything to anyone. I had found something bigger than revenge. I had found a friend. Music became my companion, my teacher, my mirror. When I was sad, the music was slow and dark. When I was happy, the music danced. I started writing every day. I filled notebooks with ideas, with melodies, with dreams. My father noticed the change. "You seem different, Emily," he said. "I am different, Dad," I answered. I found what I love. Months passed. I kept composing. One day, I had a strange idea. I thought about movies, how every character has their own music, their own theme. I decided to do the same for my life. I created a melody for my father, strong and gentle. I created one for my mother, soft and distant. I created one for myself, searching and growing. I called them leitmotifs. I started seeing my life like a film. Every moment had music. Every person had a song. I would use the same melodies again and again, but I would change them a little each time. If my father was happy, his theme was bright and bouncy. If he was tired after work, his theme was slow and heavy, played on the lower keys. This became my secret language. I remember one day sitting on the bus. I looked at a woman sitting opposite me. She looked sad, looking out the window at the gray sky. In my head, I immediately wrote a score for her, a lonely violin melody. Then, a child got on the bus and smiled at her. The music in my head changed. It became hopeful, like a sunrise. I hid these themes in all my music like Easter eggs, like treasures only I knew were there. Sometimes I would listen to a piece I wrote months ago, and I would hear my own story hidden inside the notes. It was like reading my diary, but in sound. This idea became an obsession. I wrote it down in a journal. My life is a film, and I am writing the score. I didn't tell anyone about my music for a whole year. I was scared people would laugh or say I wasn't good enough. But one day, my father heard me playing. He opened the door quietly and stood there listening. When I finished, he said, "Emily, did you write that?" I nodded. He smiled. His eyes were shiny with tears. "It's beautiful," he said. That was the first time someone heard my music and understood. My heart felt warm. I realized maybe I could share this. Maybe my music wasn't just for me. After that, I started recording my pieces. I posted them online with a simple name, Emily's Compositions. One morning, I woke up and checked my phone. I had 200 new messages. People from different countries had listened to my music. They wrote things like, "This made me cry," and "I felt less alone." I couldn't believe it. I was just a girl in a small town playing an old keyboard. But somehow, my music had traveled across the world and touched people I didn't know. I sat on my bed and cried. Not sad tears, happy tears. I wasn't alone anymore. Music had given me a family. 2 years later, I was 18. I was walking in the city center near the music school. I saw someone familiar. It was Miss Carter, the piano teacher who had rejected me. She was sitting on a bench drinking coffee. My heart started beating fast. Part of me wanted to walk away, but another part wanted to talk. I walked up to her. "Miss Carter?" I said. She looked up. She didn't remember me. "Do I know you?" she asked. "You taught me piano 2 years ago. You told me I had no talent." Her face changed. She looked uncomfortable. "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't remember." I smiled. "It's okay. You helped me more than you know. Because of what you said, I taught myself. I started composing. Now music is my life." She stared at me, surprised. "You compose?" "Yes," I said. "And I love it. Thank you for pushing me to find my own way." I walked away. I felt light. I felt free. Now I am 24. I still live in the same house. I still play the same old keyboard, though the keys are worn down now. But everything is different inside me. I have composed over 100 pieces. I have written songs for rainy Tuesdays. I have written songs for the smell of morning coffee. I have written songs for heartbreak and for healing. All of them are me. My leitmotifs have grown with me. My father's theme is softer now, deeper, because he is older. My own theme is stronger, louder, because I am braver. I even created a theme for Miss Carter. For a long time, I couldn't write it, but finally I did. It is short and sharp, but it ends with a major chord, a sound of gratitude. Music taught me that every person, every moment, is part of the song, even the painful ones. They are just the low notes that make the high notes sound sweeter. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that 16-year-old girl who couldn't read sheet music, who was told she had no talent. I wish I could tell her, "Don't worry. You will find your way. You will create beauty. You will turn pain into music." I am proud of her. I am proud of me. Last week, something beautiful happened. A young boy messaged me online. He said, "I want to learn music, but my teacher says I'm too slow." I wrote back, "Don't listen. Start today. Teach yourself. Find what makes your heart sing." He thanked me. I smiled because I realized my story isn't just mine anymore. It belongs to anyone who has ever been told no. To anyone who keeps going anyway. Music connects us all. And my experiment continues. Every day I compose, I add new themes, new memories, new chapters. That day, I understood something important. Life is not about proving people wrong. It's about finding what makes you feel alive. It's about creating your own path, your own sound. Sometimes the worst moments lead to the best discoveries. Sometimes rejection is protection. Sometimes when one door closes, you build your own door with your own hands and your own music. And that door leads somewhere more beautiful than you ever imagined. Now, it's your turn to practice. Watch this video again. Copy the voice, feel the emotion, and speak with confidence. This is how you grow your English speaking power. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. More shadowing videos are coming soon. Thank you for learning with me.
See you next time.